Julius Caesar viewed time as a weapon, and he was the only man who knew how to sharpen the blade. It is 52 BC, and the Roman Republic is dying. Caesar is 800 miles away, and his enemies in the Senate are counting the days until his downfall. They think distance is their shield. They are wrong. While his generals slept, Caesar was awake. While his soldiers ate, Caesar was dictating. He didn't just manage time, he annihilated it. He invented a concept the world wasn't ready for: simultaneous output. History calls it dead time, the commute, the wait, the travel. To you, it's a boring drive to work. To Caesar, it was a tactical vacuum. He traveled in a specialized carriage, a mobile office of the ancient world. While his horse covered 100 miles a day, Caesar dictated letters to 7 different secretaries at once. Think about that. One mind, 7 conversations, 0 friction. He wasn't multitasking, he was multiplying his existence. By the time his enemies woke up to plan their day, Caesar had already lived a week. He didn't conquer Gaul with a bigger sword. He conquered it with dead time. While his enemies slept until sunrise, Julius Caesar was already marching, in the dark, in the rain. His secret was a philosophy he called tempus rationum, time accounting. He believed that what other men do in 12 hours, he must do in 4. Most of us treat time like air, infinite, free. But Caesar knew the truth. Time is a Roman candle. It burns once, then it's gone forever. In the middle of a civil war, his fleet was trapped. Enemies surrounded him on all sides. A normal general would wait for reinforcements, send messengers, pray for luck. Caesar built a new harbor in 3 hours, while the enemy was still eating breakfast. 3,000 men. No sleep, no discussion, just work. And Caesar didn't just order them from a safe distance. He carried his own shield. He dug his own trench. He wrote his own military commentaries while riding a horse. Do you hit snooze? Caesar never knew the word. But let me be clear. Relaxation wasn't forbidden in his world. It was earned. He partied with Cleopatra. He wrote beautiful poetry. He loved deeply. But only after the work was doubled. He read while walking. He dictated letters while bathing. He edited speeches while eating. He invented the very first commute productivity 2,000 years before anyone coined the term. In just 10 years, he fought 8 major wars, wrote over 1.3 million words that survive to this day, changed the calendar, changed the government, and changed the language of the Western world. The average CEO today has 60 unread emails. Caesar had 60 unread enemies, and he answered both before lunch. One man died at 55 years old, stabbed 23 times, his body broken on the floor of the Roman Senate. But on that day, he had already lived the equivalent of 180 years of normal human output. You don't need more time. You need discipline over the time you already waste. That 15 minutes before a meeting, that's a letter. The 10 minutes waiting for food, that's a plan. The 4 o'clock hour in the morning when the rest of the world is asleep, that is where empires are built. Dead time isn't empty. It's raw material. Stop waiting for the perfect hour. The Romans didn't have clocks. They had resolve. Julius Caesar famously said, Veni, vidi, vici. I came, I saw, I conquered. But the silent 4th word he lived by was velocitas, speed. Caesar knew the most terrifying truth of the human condition. Success is a race against the grave. He was 32 when he wept at the statue of Alexander the Great. Alexander had conquered the world at 30. Caesar had done nothing. That shame became his fuel. From that moment on, every second was a battle. He refused to let a single thought die in his head. If he had an idea on a battlefield, it was on paper, in seconds. If he was crossing the Alps, he was writing a book on grammar. His extreme discipline didn't just win battles, it created an empire. He returned to Rome before his enemies even knew he'd left the front lines. He was a ghost that moved faster than rumor. He didn't have more hours in the day. He just had more will in his minutes. You have the same 24 hours as the man who conquered the known world. The difference, you wait for the right time. Caesar made the time. Stop watching the river. Pick up the sword. He didn't change the world because he was smarter than you. He changed the world because he hated wasting a single heartbeat more than he feared death itself. So look at your day. Look at your dead time. The question isn't whether you have enough hours. The question is whether you have the discipline to stop letting them leak through your fingers. What will you build starting right now? Rome wasn't conquered in a day. It was conquered minute by minute. Subscribe now and start treating your time like history's greatest leaders did.